Hi, seventh graders. Hope you're doing well. All right, our last day before Thanksgiving break, and we are going to start our draft. So head into the Google Classroom, and you're going to open up your nonfiction narrative writing assignment. So open that document up while we go through the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've already done our brainstorming and we've done our pre-writing and don't forget your outline. It's super helpful. And then we started our drafting. So you started kind of thinking of how you want to do your introduction, your rising actions, your climax, your falling action, and your resolution. So what you're going to do is you're going to use all these ideas. You're going to combine them together along with your character description. Okay, so use your timeline to help you out. Use your character description, okay? But we are down here for today, right where it says use transitions, okay? So let's start here. All right, now that you guys are there, let's go through the PowerPoint. All right, so drafting day 2. Oh, that's funny. It should say day 2. Typo. We're good to go. All right, so drafting day 2. And today we are going to actually start a draft. Yay! So you're going to focus all your ideas, take all of them, and then you're going to complete your first draft. All right, so this is still the third step in the writing process. You will be using your main idea statement, character chart, timeline, all these things to create a draft of your intro, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution. Again, the writing assignment, we're talking about how one generation is influencing another generation. All right, so now you guys kind of have the chunks all together. So what you'll do now is you'll take these chunks and you're going to kind of unite them using transitional words. So what are transitional words again? So let's look at that. To make the sequence of events in your narrative clear to readers, use transition words such as first, then, next, later, and finally to establish a clear chronological order. And again, chronological order is time order. So these transitional words will help you move from all these like parts that we have and making more of a cohesive unit. Use the numbered events in your timeline to help you determine which transition words to use and where in your writing to use them. So go back to your timeline, okay? That'll help you out. Now, these are the guidelines for your draft. First and foremost, you need to provide an introduction that establishes a clear context and point of view. It's probably either first person point of view or third person. Most of you are doing first person. All right. Present a clear logical sequence of events that are linked by clarifying transitions. Those transitional words, first, next, then, okay. Provide a conclusion that follows from and reflects on the events and experiences in the narrative. Okay, so make sure that your resolution or conclusion describes how that person was affected by the other generation. All right. Evidence and elaboration effectively uses narrative techniques such as dialogue, pacing, and description. You started that with your character description box, so head back up there and make sure you include those. All right, uses descriptive details, sensory language, and precise words and phrases. Just make sure you're adding in some adjectives and adverbs. All right, establishes voice through word choice, sentence structure, and tone. Remember that we went over voice. You can go back up to that section and review it. Then last, attends the norms and conventions of the discipline. If something in your document is underlined in like red or blue, you need to click on it and figure out, well, why is it underlined? Does it need to be changed? All right, so you're going to be combining all your ideas to create a complete first draft. So you will write a nonfiction narrative about the influence someone from a different generation has had on you or someone you know. Use all the information from your pre-write and all the other answers that you've been doing. In your narrative, draw on the text you have read in this section, especially our mentor text that we've been using, Grounded. So your narrative should answer this question: what unexpected event shows how a person can influence someone from a different generation? All right, so lastly, reminder, these are the elements needed in a nonfiction narrative. It's a story, first and foremost, not an essay. It's a story of something that actually happened. In a personal narrative, the writer uses the first person point of view, employing pronouns like I and me, to tell the true story of something that he or she has experienced. Other nonfiction narratives, such as a biography, are written from a third person point of view. So if you're writing about somebody else, it should be a third person point of view using pronouns he and she as the narrator. Okay? All right. And lastly, an engaging nonfiction narrative contains these elements: a well-developed major and minor characters, as well as a narrator who is you, the writer. There needs to be a problem or conflict. There needs to be something going on, or it's not a story. A clear sequence of events that unfolds naturally and logically. Narrative techniques such as dialogue, description, and pacing. A variety of transitional words and phrases and clauses to convey sequence and signal shifts from one setting or time frame to another. Precise words, well-chosen quotations, vivid description details, and powerful sensory language. And a conclusion or resolution that follows from and reflects on the experiences in the narrative. So these are all the elements needed in a nonfiction narrative. All right, so now that we've gone through and reviewed all the things that you will need in your narrative, make sure that you're using all of your document that we've gone through, especially the pre-writing and the beginning of the drafting. Go through all of it, then come down here, and you are going to complete your first draft right underneath here. All right, so bring your questions ready to cohort. Hope you guys have a good evening, or actually day. Talk with you guys later.